YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Bryce with 510 Visuals. You back in the lab, baby, cooking up that sauce. Today, we're going to talk about one of my new favorite plugins, Dehancer. Now, just a heads up, I was contacted by the team over at Dehancer to try out their product and do a review. I was not paid for anything. All the views and comments and opinions are all my own. They do not get to see this video before it comes out. I'm just basing this off my own experience with the product, so let's get it. The installation process was super easy. You get a folder that's got a quick guide set up in it. It gives you step-by-step instructions on how to get it installed and where to find it. Once you have it installed, this is an effect, so it's going to be in your effect panel. It also gives you instructions on how to apply it to single clips or multiple clips using adjustment layers. You got plenty of presets in there and when to actually apply it during your workflow. So that can be kind of confusing to people as to when you should add your LUT, because adding your LUT in certain parts of your process could either slow your process down or speed it up. Everything was very detailed and comprehensive, and I was able to get it installed very quickly. Now, once you get it installed and you reopen Final Cut, when you get to this interface, it's super intimidating at first. There's so many sliders and the list is kind of long, but if you just take your time and kind of just use your context clues on what section you're in, you can even just move your sliders left and right and see what it's doing, and you'll be able to figure out everything within 15-20 minutes. The headlines are a little technical with the titles, so it might be a little harder to understand what section you're in, but again, just sliding stuff around, you'll be able to easily overcome that, and over time you'll understand what those titles mean. One thing that I really loved about this was the footage interpretation. You can actually put in your camera make and model, and it'll interpret your footage for you. Sometimes you don't know what color space you used on the camera, so you can just change your source to choose camera, input your camera make and model and the format that you shot in, and boom, it even knew my camera's native ISOs. Another thing that I love was full control. Most presets won't let you go in and make adjustments and fine-tune the look that you want. With Dehancer, you actually have full control over everything. Once you add in the preset, it moves the sliders wherever it needs to go, and then from there you can dive in to your intensity of your effects however you like it. Alright, with the pros must come the cons. These aren't really cons, these are just some things that I noticed while I was moving around the interface. I wish that I could reorder some of the sections, because I didn't even dive into most of the sections, so it'd be nice to pull those down to the bottom. That way I'm not having to scroll past them to get to the sliders that I actually use. I'd like to see the enable boxes move to the top of all the sections. That way the first thing you see is the option to actually enable that section versus going down to the bottom of that section and ticking that box. Now there's a section called output that's all the way down at the bottom. Now this goes back to me where I was saying that some of the titles were a little more technical. Output is like mix or blend or a strength effect. I wish that they would rename that to something a little bit more common language, because until I moved that slider, I really didn't understand what it was telling me when it said output. I'd like to see a basic and advanced option for the layout. Keep the current layout for the advanced users, that way they have full control of everything, and then maybe create like a pared down version for quicker applications of the effect, or for beginners that are just learning. In the future, I'd like to see a visual LUT chooser. Instead of choosing each LUT and seeing what it does to your footage, I'd like that you're able to actually see the LUTs in live in a list and what it does to your footage and be able to pick it visually. But in the meantime, the preview is super fast, so you can just click through them fairly quickly and pick the one you like. And my last quote-unquote con is the name of the effect. I'm just being picky here, but film emulation, if I was being me and didn't read those instructions, I would have been looking for this plugin and I would have been so mad because I would have never found it. Alright, I got my notes right here, just a couple things. Final thoughts. Some of the helpful tools are down at the bottom of some of the columns. I wish that they were up top, especially the enable checkbox, which if you don't click that before you start moving the sliders, it's not going to show you anything. It's you're gonna think that you can't see what's going on. That happened to me, but as I kept scrolling, I kept seeing the enable box, and whenever I checked that, everything that I had been moving just popped on the screen. Overall, I really love the design. I do wish that there was an option for more of a compact or more like a basic layout. That way I can add the tools that I want and it'd be a little bit more simplified versus having options for every single thing that you can change. Just being able to flop back and forth between those two settings may make someone's workflow a lot faster. Alright, overall, I really love the product. I will be using it in my future projects, especially my wedding films, because I really love the looks that I can get there and how consistent I can get these looks. So I look forward to using this in the future. I hope you guys do too. If you want to give this a go, I have a 10% off discount code down in the comment section. So make sure you guys use that on your purchases. Thanks for kicking it with your boy. Remember, it's all gas, no brakes. Whatever you do, do it moving. Yee! We out of here, baby. Peace. Dehancer is available on Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, and Premiere Pro. All the major players in the game. They also have a mobile app on iOS for all your photo and video editing needs on the go. On the market, spark it, trying, I'm not lying. I can chug you, I can chug you, I can chug you, I can